Hey guys, Team Junkyard Dog here today, and I just thought I would put together a video for you guys focusing on the FSi6. This is a very common radio that we use in combat robotics, and I just wanted to show you guys how to set this up. Now, in my example, I'm going to be using the dual brushed ESC from Repeat Robotics, and I'm going to be using an FS2A receiver. So I will show you how to set up the dual brushed ESC. I will show you how to connect it to your motors, connect it to your receiver, and then I'm also in this video going to show you how to set up your mixes from scratch and also how to control things like your steering rate, how fast your robot turns, and your launchability, how quick the power ramps in and comes out. And it's just kind of a walkthrough, mainly geared towards beginners who aren't familiar with the radios, how to set up their radios to customize the drive of their robots. So let's get into it. All right, so here we have our drive motor. We have another drive motor. I like to set my drive motors up with connectors and all my spares so they're easy to swap out. Do it how you like, but connectors are much quicker in the heat of battle and in those fast turnaround times rather than trying to solder with shaky hands. I have a Palm Power 3S 300 mAh battery. I have the Repeat dual brushed ESC. I have an FS2A receiver. What I'm going to do, what the point of all this is I'm going to show you, if you are setting up your robot for the first time, how to get it right in your radio and how to connect things up. Now, when you first get your dual brushless ESC, if you look on the top, you have one channel. This is channel 1. We'll say this is channel 2, and then you have your power in from your battery. On the other side, you have, on the right side, you have your motor out, and then on the left side, you have the second motor out. So the first thing you want to do, of course, is you're going to connect up your drive motors to your ESC. All right, so now that we have that hooked up, the second thing you're going to want to do is you're going to connect up your receiver. So I'm going to just plug, make sure you follow the instructions on your receiver on how to hook it up. I'm just going to plug the yellow wire into signal for channel 1. I'm going to plug the white, red, and black into channel 2. And so that is now ready to go. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to have to, and I'm starting with a fresh channel on here that's never been set up for combat robotics. We're going to start from scratch. But you're going to want to put your receiver in bind mode. With the FS2A, you just hold down this button while you power it up. So I'm going to hold that button down and try to plug this battery in at the same time. I'm sure at this point in your adventure you'll have a power switch. And if you did it correctly with the FS2A, the blue light will be blinking flash. That means that receiver is in bind mode. And so the first thing you're going to do with your radio is you're going to hold down, while that's flashing fast, you're going to hold down the bind key and you're going to turn the power on. Once I've done that, it will slowly blink blue. And then what you do is you just power off the transmitter, you turn it back on, and we are now connected. So the first test we're going to do now that we're connected is we're going to just see where we're at. So we're going to hit the drive forward, and we can see that this is forward and reverse controls the left side, right and left controls the right side. So that means we need to set up our mixes. So this is how you set up your mixes. You're going to hold down the OK button. You're going to go to Setup. You're going to scroll down until you get to Mix. Once you get to Mix, you can see that mix number 1, and it says mix is off. You're going to hit OK. You're going to hit up to turn the mix on. Then you're going to hit OK again. You can see where it says master is channel 1. That's all right. Slave is channel 2. That's okay. And then you have your positive mix. You're going to make that negative 100. Then you're going to hit OK, and you're going to make your negative mix minus 100. And we're going to hit OK. OK again. And now we're back up at the top. We're going to hit up to go to mix number 2. We're going to get OK, and then we're going to hit up again to turn it on, and then we're going to go to master. We're going to change master by hitting the out button to 2, and we're going to hit OK. Then we're going to change slave by hitting the down button to number 1, and then we're going to hit OK. And then we're going to bring it up to 100, plus 100. You want mix number 1 opposite of mix number 2. So mix number 1 is master 1, slave 2, negative 100, negative 100. And mix number 2 is going to be master 2, slave 1, positive mix 100, negative mix 100. Once you have that set up, you just hold down the cancel button until it beeps. We're going to go ahead and exit out of there. And then we're going to come back over here, and we're going to see where we're at now. So now we have forward, reverse, left, and right. So we're getting somewhere. But if I go really, really slow, you can see that this one's moving forward and this one's moving reverse, right? So we want to fix this one. So how do we fix that? We go back under our, we'll hit OK, we'll hold it down, we'll go to setup, we'll go to reverses, and we're going to hit up to reverse channel 1. Let's see what that did. And now they're both moving forward. Now, if they were switched, let's just say for instance, if I had reversed the wrong one and I push forward and they're both going backwards, well then you know that you just need to reverse both of them. You basically reverse channels 1 and 2 until they are both turning in the same direction. So up should be forward, down should be back. Once you get that correct, you just hold down the cancel button until it beeps. Okay, so now that we have forward and reverse correct, let's check right and left. And we have trouble in paradise because when I try to go right, this one should be going forward and this one should be going reverse. They are opposite. So how do we fix that? This is how I fix it. I turn this off, I power down my robot, and then I switch channel 1 and channel 2. So I will take the yellow one out, I will take the one that's plugged into channel 2, plug it into channel 1, and then I will plug the one that was in channel 1 into channel number 2. And now we're going to power this back up. Turn on the radio. We are bound. Now we have forward is reverse now. Reverse is forward now, and so everything is completely backwards. So some ESCs, after you complete that step, it will be 100% correct at that point. But for some reason with this ESC, everything is completely opposite now. But that's a good thing, because if everything is completely opposite, like forward is reverse, if you go right, it tries to turn left. If you go left, it tries to turn right. That's perfect, because all you have to do is hold down OK, go to setup, go to your reverses, and just simply reverse both channels. Hold down the cancel button. Once you exit out, you are good to go. So this is forward, this is reverse, this is right, this is left, all as it should be. Now we're going to take it a little step further here. Most people would be satisfied with that, and that would be their drive. But I want to show you how to change your turning radius, because a lot of robots turn way too fast, and a lot of people don't know how to slow down that turn rate. And too quick of a turn rate is the #1 cause of oversteer and driving mistakes. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to hold down OK. We are going to go to setup. We are going to go down to dual rate and exponential. Okay, so under dual rate exponential, channel 1 is steering. If you go to channel 2, that is forward and reverse. So think about it like this. Channel 1 is right and left. Channel 2 is forward and back. And so we're working on our steering, so we're going to be under channel 1. So we're going to hit OK, and we're going to go down to rate. So what we're going to do is I'm going to turn like I'm turning full speed in a circle, and I'm going to start dialing down that rate. And as I dial that rate down, these motors are getting slower and slower. So as you can see, right and left have severely slowed down, but forward and back is still full speed. So that's how you slow your steering rate down. Now if you want to change your curve, that is how the power is applied, then you would go to exponential, and exponential would change how the power is applied. So I'm going to save this as it is. We're going to go back under dual rate. We're going to go to channel 2. And now we can see that right and left have slowed down. Forward and back is still full speed. But let's say, for instance, you have a younger driver and they can't handle the speed of their robot. Then you would just simply hit OK and go down to rate. And you would just start lowering the speed down. So let's say if you only wanted them to have 60% power in forward and reverse. So channel 2 is forward and reverse. Channel 1 is left and right. And if you have a really powerful robot, let's say that you're running at 100% on your rate. So it's very zippy, it's trying to pop wheelies, and you want to try to control that. Well, you could go down to your exponential and change this curve. So let's say if you put a negative curve in, that's going to give you an easier start. So if you watch, if I slowly push the stick up, how far the stick has to go before the power starts to come in. If I had this curve extremely the other way, if I slowly start to push the stick up, you can see how fast the power comes in. So the more expo, the faster you get the power. The less expo, the harder you have to push to get the power. So that's how you get your softer starts and launches. We're just going to cancel out of that. So that is how, in essence, you set up your drives. Now, once you get all that stuff set up, you might notice that one side is spinning faster than the other. If that's the case, you can use your trims here on the bottom to actually dial in and get those turning about the same speed or starting at the same time. So like if I was hitting it and this motor was spinning before this motor, you just trim it out until you ease into it and they both turn at the same speed. But this is what will control that. Let's see if I turn this down, you can see how when I barely push the stick, see how this one's spinning much faster? That's because the trim is out. But I'm just going to leave mine in center because I like to make that adjustment once I get the robot. I do test launches, and if it pulls to one side or the other, then I just adjust that trim to get it to pull straight whenever I hit the sticks. Another quick tip is a lot of people aren't aware that when they're trying to launch fast or box rush, that when they push the stick up, they tend to drift to one side or the other. If you have stick drift like that, it's going to make your robot go crooked. So what was taught to me by Andy at Palm Beach Bots is you put your thumb, when you're initially going to do your box rush, if your robot is set up correctly, you just stick your thumb at the bottom of the switch down here, don't even touch the lever, and push it up like this. And then once you finish your box rush, you can move your thumb back up. Just a little tidbit there for you. Okay, so there you go. That's my little tutorial. Hopefully you learned how to set up your mixes from scratch. Now you can actually control how fast your robot steers. As I said in the video, the #1 driving error is the steering is set up to turn the robot too quickly, and that causes oversteer, which can expose you to your enemy or the opposing bot. So hopefully by dialing your steering down a little bit, if your robot's popping wheelies, you can dial out how fast that power goes in, going in forward and reverse, and make your robot driving experience a whole lot better. Until next time, we're Team Junkyard Dog, and we're out.